how to enhance student engagement and success with AI Tutor Pro. I'm Ron Owston. I'm Research Associate for Higher Education, AI in Higher Education at Contact North, and also Professor Emeritus from York University here in Toronto. Joining me today is Sarah Gavreau, Research Associate as well with Contact North, and Michael Lariviere. Michael is Enterprise Web Architect at Contact North. Michael has been key, instrumental in working with me in designing and implementing AI Tutor Pro. We're excited to share what we've been doing with AI Tutor Pro. If you were with us in the webinar in late August, you'll see that there are some considerable improvements, enhancements to the tool, and we're now really ready to launch version 2 of AI Tutor Pro with some new exciting features. So, great to see the enrollment today. We have participants from all around the world, of course, North America, US, Canada, Central America, Europe, North and South Africa, and Asia. Now, I was curious that there was a participant from an Ontario institution who said that their location was Antarctica. Now, I'm not sure if that was a joke or if it's not a joke. It's a first for Contact North to have a participant coming in from Antarctica. If it is a joke, well, the joke is on us. So if that participant is signed up right now, logged in, let us know if you really are from Antarctica, and send us a note in the chat, and be happy to find out if that's the case. Or if it's a joke, let us know as well. That's great too. So with that, I'm going to share my screen, and I see people signing in still, and from various locations and giving their locations. So welcome everyone. It's terrific to see so many, and we're really delighted to share our work because it's exciting work, and we've made this, as you'll see, everything available at no cost, no fee to users of AI Tutor Pro. We don't collect any user information, and we are always anxious to get feedback from you and so on. So with that, I'm going to launch into our session this morning and share my screen, and we'll take it from here. Okay, you should see it now. Okay, yeah, okay, there. So here's our agenda this morning. Just want to go over it with you. First of all, I'm going to begin with an overview of the basic features of AI Tutor Pro. And if you were in our August session, most of these will be familiar, but we'll be showing some new features as well. Then we'll have a pause for about 10 minutes Q&A and a little hands-on activity. I'd like to get your feedback. We're going to then go into custom content, which is a new feature for AI Tutor Pro. I think the future you'll see is more and more custom content rather than relying on generic content from the knowledge base of OpenAI systems. We'll look at some other features, special features of AI Tutor Pro, such as the app installation, and also look at sort of what's ahead, some new products that we're working on, and then we'll end with Q&A. So I'm presenting this as you'll notice in my browser view, the whole screen, so it's easier for me to show you what we're doing, be able to switch back and forth with tabs. So with that, I'll bring up our homepage, aitutorpro.ca. We say 900,000 plus interactions. The plus is more like another 100,000. We've reached at least 1 million, I believe, right now of interactions with AI Tutor Pro, and it's used 24/7 around the world. When we check at usage, we see that's happening. So when you get to the home page, always check for the latest updates here. Just click on that for the news, and you'll see the new features that we add. We haven't added anything about the very latest feature, which is open stacks access. So it's true here, you can learn about any topic, anytime, anywhere. It's multilingual, it's free. We don't collect any user information. So that's both a strength and a weakness, perhaps. Strength is that you can use this and query any topic, and that information is not kept, it's not identified with you. And weakness perhaps is that you can't return to a session and continue where you left off. So there are pros and cons, but we've opted for sort of open and no user information at all is gathered. We have two features here, the check my knowledge and the grow my knowledge. Starting with check my knowledge. Check my knowledge is the idea of being able to self quiz on material that you've studied or are studying. The idea is that you may go to a lecture, a student may go to a lecture, you may read something, and one of the best ways research has consistently shown is that self-testing is a way of reinforcing your learning. It's the most effective way of reinforcing your learning, not just going back to the material and reading again, but actually checking your knowledge on it. Grow my knowledge, this is more of a tutorial approach where you want to build your knowledge, you want to be able to grow, increase your understanding of a particular topic. So we'll launch into first check my knowledge. Okay, you'll see from this screen, you can enter a specific topic, and the idea is not, you're used to probably using, typing in a question. Well, you can do that, but the idea really is to enter a topic. If you put a question in, it'll get the stem of that and it'll continue on as using that as a topic. But let's say we want to look at something like global climate change. Okay, so we'll put that in and we'll then ask for, I'll check the summary table and I'll tell you about that in a moment. I'll come back to the other features as well later. But let's start here, start a session about global climate change. So it says, welcome, here to help you learn. Here's your first question. What are the possible causes of global climate change? Provide some examples and how they contribute to climate change. Well, the one we're bombarded with all the time is driving cars. That's one of the major pollutants, let's say. And I'll just do a short answer here. And you notice it's not multiple choice. This tool is not a homework beater. It's not a tool designed for helping students just solve their homework problems. It's a tool to increase your understanding, to help you learn about the topic. Okay, they said my answer is partially correct, of course. Driving cars run on gas and diesel, of course, which creates CO2. The correct answer includes other causes as well, such as industrial activities, deforestation, agriculture. Okay, it goes on to the next one. How does deforestation affect the climate? Fewer, let's say, fewer trees to absorb, let's say, CO2. Let's see what that says. How it responds to that. Okay, oh, I got it right this time. Okay. Now, here's your next question. Can you explain what greenhouse gases are and give examples, some common greenhouse gases? Well, methane, I think, is one. Can get trapped in the atmosphere. Okay, I'll type that. Oh, good start. Okay, not the best answer here, but okay. Okay, common greenhouse gases, CO2, nitrous oxide, and so on. What is it? Now, notice that here that you can have the choice of asking another question. If you don't like that question, okay, go ahead to some other ones. And also you have the possibility of typing, help me. Say you're not sure of the answer. Of course, it comes back with some information helping you. So you have a complete interactive session here. Either partially answer, you can, or give it a complete answer, and it continues on correcting you as you go. And now when I click done, it's the end of this session. you'll see that it takes a moment here and it generates a table giving you the questions that were asked, the correct answer, and your own answer. Remember the very first one I said driving cars, that was partially correct, so I only got 5 out of 10. This is a 10-point scale. Deforestation, I got that right, 10, and so on. This is just arbitrary, the fact that it's out of 10, it gives you some indication of how you did on a question. Now notice here that you can click this icon here, and you can copy this particular table, or you can go to the top, copy here, and this will give you a complete transcript of your session, including the table. So you can paste that into a word processor. Say you were having students explore a topic, you could have them copy this and post it in the learning management system in the discussion group or wherever, or submit it as a document. Another feature that we've added is using social media. For instance, you can post the table on X, LinkedIn, and Facebook right now. So post it on X, Twitter, and check out my summary table. And it's pre-formatted like this. You can add anything else you want, but I'll just post that and away it goes. And it's out there on Twitter. So again, you might have students share that and compare. You can look at, as a class, then you can look at all the results, show those on the screen, for instance, just by searching for AI Tutor Pro and bringing up the summary tables to show students' work. Okay, so now the latest feature that we've added here is allowing our search to be restricted to OpenStax. Now, if you're not familiar with OpenStax, OpenStax is the world's largest collection of open content textbooks. They're freely available, roughly 80 textbooks. They're used by 4 million students around the world. And they're high quality textbooks, professionally edited and published and well illustrated, peer reviewed. So unlike many of the open source materials, this is top-notch material that can be used and trusted. So what we've done here is we've loaded the OpenStax collection into our knowledge base. And so from now on, when you check that box and checking your knowledge on that topic, it's going to be consulting only the OpenStax textbooks. Now, there's two advantages to this you'll see. First of all, you're going to virtually eliminate the problem of hallucinations of AI responding and making up answers, because we'll know, secondly, the source exactly where the answer is coming from. And I'll give you an example. We'll stick with our global climate change. And I noticed that there's no textbook in the science as you select your subject area, but there is in social sciences. Global climate change is discussed. So we'll start our session. And you notice right now that it's taking a little longer to load. It's a different knowledge base that we're using, different source here. So it's going to take just a couple of seconds longer. But it's the same interaction that you get. Let's get started with the question on global climate change. How would you describe the term climate change and why is it important? Whether patterns are changing, let's say, over time now. Okay, let's use that. Click send or hit enter. And we get a response back from the OpenStax collection. And let's see how it assesses our answer here. Okay, your answer touches on a key aspect, but let's clarify it a bit more. Climate change, long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns, and so on. Now, this is what's unique, and you'll find this in no other tutor software. It's view sources, and this tells me exactly where the information is coming from. It's the OpenStax textbook called Introduction to Psychology, 3rd edition. Environment and Society. So here it is. Here's the discussion about climate change and so on, right in the OpenStax textbook. This is a significant breakthrough, and those of you who might be familiar with Perplexity You'll notice that's a tool, AI tool that will give you the source, but this goes even better, I think. It's restricting the session only to the OpenStax textbooks. Carry on and we can do, but it's the same principle. You always will get your sources of the answer. So very major breakthrough. It's taken us probably 9, 10 months to get this working properly. And you'll notice that we're saying that's the beta version. There's a few kinks to sort out, but nevertheless, it does work. And if you don't happen to choose the right topic, subject area, you'll see that it's going to give you an answer saying, well, sorry, I can't answer that. You have to ask me a question about astronomy because I just chose astronomy. So, okay, well, actually it did. Here's your first question. Okay. Okay, well, that's no, that's one of the things we're trying to eliminate. It should actually tell you here that no, um, we shouldn't be looking at global climate change under astronomy. But nevertheless, that's a little bug. So it is beta. We'd have a few things to work out. Ideally, it would show. Sorry, I can't answer that question. Okay, let's go on to the next tool. We'll go into the Grow tool, and you'll see how it's significantly that's different. So we looked at global climate change, and we'll do the same topic here with the Grow tool, and you'll see what happens with the session. Okay, we'll dive into global climate change. Tell me what you already understand, you see. So what the tool is trying to do is to take you from where you are right now in your understanding of the topic to increase your understanding and knowledge. What are you most curious about? What do you understand? Well, I know that cars can produce pollution. Pollution. Uh, you'll find that it's actually very tolerant of spelling typos. I could have left that without the double L. Okay, great start. How do you think pollution from cars might contribute to climate change? What pollutants are relevant? They produce CO2. Yes, okay, okay, okay. Okay, what do you think happens when it goes in the atmosphere? So you'll see it carries on this dialogue. It's not sort of quite the same as the other one, which would ask you a question, then go on to the next question. This is trying to build on your understanding and guide you through the learning process. And you can also use help me, or let's say I'm not sure for the answer, whatever. You can ask for help and more tutoring on it. Okay, what do you understand? Okay, let's think about it together. What do you understand about greenhouse effect and so on? So you'll see that it is a different approach. Now, two other features we have here are, first of all, the language. Um, did you know that this tool actually will work in roughly 30 different languages? So I can, let's say my first language happens to be Spanish. So I can still keep the English interface, but say my first language is Spanish and I understand better in that language, I can have the session carry on in Spanish. And you'll see here a question in Spanish about climate change. It does that automatically, and you can respond and so on and carry on your dialogue. You can imagine that this would be a very valuable tool if you're a language learner as well. Say you were learning Spanish and you wanted to know, say, let's say part of learning any language is learning about the culture. And we could, let's say we're studying Italian and we want to learn about Rome, Italy, the culture of cultural center of Rome, perhaps you would say. And the question goes in there, and you can respond back and forth with in Italian. And again, it's tolerant for your spelling mistakes and misunderstandings as well. So carry on the same kind of session with AI Tutor Pro. So it's a great tool for language learning, to enhance language learning. So and you can carry on a dialogue about any aspect of any topic that you want in that language as well. And you'll see that we've got multiple languages here as well. So, and the reason we have only that, not maybe 100 languages, which is possible, is because we have a voice feature as well, and go back to that as well. And may not come through quite as well on your screen, but you'll click on this icon and it'll read out the response.
Benvenuto a AI Tutor Pro Grow Assistant. Oggi parleremo di Roma, Italia. Cosa ti interessa sapere?
And then if you're using this on a smartphone, you could then have a dialogue, have the whole conversation, the whole tutoring session based on the language. One other topic before we take a break and see if there are any questions here. Please post them by all means in the Q&A or else in chat. Q&A would be a better spot to post your questions, but we'll also be looking at chat. So you can change your level, your learning level I'll go back to global climate change. And when I say learning level, what we mean here is trying to simplify the language of interaction. Again, maybe helping those oops, I left it in Italian. We'll put it into English here again and check the level. And it does simplify the language somewhat. Some topics, it works better by adjusting the language level than other topics. So let's talk about it. To start, can you tell me what you know about what does it mean to you and so on? Slightly simpler language than what we had before, and it can go to what we call professional level, which would be graduate level. And we'll see how it launches that. Okay. Delwood, using words like what specific aspect of climate change you're currently curious about, so on. So slightly different. As I said, it depends on the topic. So what I think we'll do here, we'll just pause for a moment. And before we get into some new features of AI Tutor Pro. And Sarah, are there any questions right now?
Yeah, we have a few in the queue. The first one is from John. How specific can you type to check your knowledge? I found it hard to get quizzed on fairly narrow topics.
You can specify it as much as you want. I'll go back to global climate change and its effects on sea levels. You can get actually, to tell you the truth, I would say the more specific your question is, the better. Okay. So then sea levels and so on. I wonder I hope, John, that answers your question, but the more specific, actually, the better, I would say. Sarah, any others?
Yep. One from Edmund. Are there any plans to include more open sourced resources?
More plans for more open source resources. Yes, but we're going to give you the capability of uploading those resources yourself and making those available to your students or learners. So OpenStax, we've felt that it's a very reliable, solid source of open source OERs. And so we've featured that. If you want to have more, and I'm going to show you that, actually, that's our next topic, show you that, how you can upload those materials yourself and then allow your session to be based only on those materials. By the way, as we're talking here and I'm answering a few questions, please give it a try yourself and see if you have any questions. Put in a topic that you're very familiar with. Check its accuracy either through OpenStax or just the regular route. And as a topic you're familiar with, a hobby, sport, academic topic, and just please give us your feedback. So Sarah, other question.
Yep, there's a few more here. Is there an option to ask for help after an answer is given in an interaction?
Oh yeah, it's not so much something that you're going to to click on. We could put another window button here like help me, but all you need to do is just simply type in here, help me, and it'll, I understand you're looking for guidance. Let's break it down together as an example. So yeah, you can put that, and or you can say, I'm not really sure what to say. It's open-ended. It's open-ended. You can put what you want here, and it's going to respond. Okay, let's do it step by step, and so on. So a great way to do it, and like I said, you can just simply click on ask another question if you don't want that question, you can't answer it, whatever. So great option there. Yeah. Any others, Sarah?
Yeah. Edmund would like to know, for the learning level, say professional, is it
Yeah.
possible to create materials to meet specific accreditation requirements?
No, that wasn't the intent of professional. It's just perhaps the term professional might be a bit misleading. What we want to get at is to ask the question in more sophisticated language. That's basically the idea. Now, the professional materials, now that's going to be the next topic I can show you, like when we're allowing custom content to be uploaded. And then you can have your students use that material to learn from. So our next topic, just to point out, was okay, hands-on activity. Is there anyone who's tried an activity right now, tried a topic and want to share their findings, how accurate it was, and so on? If so, please put it in the chat. And Sarah, I think we had one last question here before we get too far behind schedule.
There was a question to see if there will be a feature in the future where the student could send a picture of a textbook page and have AI Tutor Pro help explain that page if the student is confused.
Yeah, yeah, we have that feature, and that's actually, I'll show that right now. It wouldn't be a picture file. It would be, say, a PDF would work for that. And I'm going to show that right now. That's this feature here, going back to my content. So what you can do now is imagine that's your PDF of a book. It won't be able to understand the whole book by just the first page of that book. No, it would have to be a chapter of the book. There's an ebook. It's an article that you've assigned students. They could upload that and check their knowledge, understanding of that, grow their knowledge about that as well. And or it could be lecture notes, any material that you'd like your students to learn. And I'm just going to go to let's say my yeah, okay, okay. Here's an article I wrote here, chapter in a book. Okay, I upload that. This is an article about blended learning, and I'm going to start my session. So from now on, the session is going to be based on this particular chapter of a book that I uploaded. What are some advantages of blended learning for students compared to face-to-face? So your session is now going to be based on that content alone, okay? And so it's not getting this from OpenAI, ChatGPT, it's getting it from only your content. So again, it's just like OpenStax access. It increases the I guess the validity, the trustworthiness of the responses that students are getting is coming from only the material uploaded. So this is a way of dealing with that issue. This can be either a Word file or a PDF file. It wouldn't accept picture files though. So next I'll move to the new feature that we're very excited to share, and it's uploading total custom content. Say you've got lecture notes, materials specific to your course you want students to have access to, but you don't want to share them. Right now with the My Content option, which by the way works both with Check and Grow, the My Content option is sort of a one-shot. The material is uploaded, Students would work with it, and then it's gone when they quit the session. It's not stored by ChatGPT. Don't worry, it's not used for training purposes either. So that's different. Now, what I'm going to show you is different. You're now able to upload material that you want and then give your students a custom link to that material. So they'll only be studying that, and no one outside of your class would have access to that material. And it's not going to be used for ChatGPT training, or it'll be kept totally private. Now, what we've decided to do is not make this the uploading of the material available right through AI Tutor Pro, since we see this as a tool that's aimed more at learners, at students. So what we're going to do is have access to that material from AI Teaching Assistant Pro. Now, this link that you see here is not available yet on AI Teaching Assistant Pro's homepage, but you'll see it there tomorrow. It's called Faculty Assistant. If you click on this, okay, so what this does is upload your course content for students to check their understanding, get a private link to your material only for your students, and pointing out here that it stays private, won't be used for AI training, and you can delete it at any time, and a variety of different file types are saved. So I'm going to sign in, or you can create an account if you haven't got one. So you'll sign in. By the way, this is not a feature where there's paid or you're going to have to enter a credit card. It's totally freely available. I have two works here. This is a professor at Brigham Young University who produced an open content textbook on anatomy and physiology. And when you go into this tool, you'll see there's a link, and that's the link you can share with your students. It's a long confidential link. So this link here, you would share with your students. And now this session is based totally on anatomy and physiology. So I'm going to say a question, say, about human brain. Okay, and we go on with our session. So this we feel is a real breakthrough, because I think the future really for tutoring is going to be through custom content. I think that's extremely important to have this custom content. So many campuses have gone to big, elaborate campus-wide systems with tutoring built into it, AI systems with tutoring as a function of it. But in this case, you can do this right now. You're a small institution, you're working on your own. You can do this with your students right now. Starting tomorrow, you can upload your content and give that confidential link to students. And the same features work here as well. You can type help me if you're not sure. I'm not sure about the, okay, now the little brain, okay, plays an important role. This is the source. This is the file name here. Now if I had named the file a bit more descriptively, this would give the exact file name that is taken from, the answer is taken from. So you can have it either, usually this doesn't appear, we try to suppress this, but it can be there. The key to having it done properly is for people to name files correctly, and that's a bit hard to get it done quite as nicely. So anyway, the session can go on like this through that. Here's another one, other tool that we have. This was a math, a business course about fixed income analysis, and we can show this here. Okay, term of bonds, and they will go on and start answering from this professor's class notes. What's the term like? How does it affect the bonds? Sensitivity to interest rate changes, and so on. So this is, again, restricted. So no matter what content you're teaching, you're going to be able to upload that content and and then give that link to your students, and then have the tutoring session based only on that content. So Sarah, I think I'll just pause for a moment to see if people are clear about this. So it's using AI Tutor Pro. However, you upload the material. Oops, I don't want this quite yet. You upload the material through the AI Teaching Assistant Pro from this page here, which that link will be available tomorrow at aiteachingassistantpro.ca. So any questions about this, Sarah, that
Okay, we do have one. Says, when we upload a material like Professor Owston did, will it become publicly available to other users of this platform, or will it still be confidential, private?
That's a good question, because that's a concern many faculty have. No, it is private. It is private. It's not used by ChatGPT for training purposes. You can delete it anytime. And that link that you give would be only a link that you would give to your students. Now, it is possible for your students, they might decide to share that link. Well, you've got to trust your students that they're not going to share the link. What would be their motivation really for sharing it? I don't know. But it's possible. But if you find out, you can easily delete the assistant and then do a new one and generate a new link. So not 100% confidential, but confidential as long as no one shares the link. The way you could make it a little more secure, perhaps, is just have a link within your learning management system to that particular session with your content. So that's one way of doing it. So I think it's reasonably secure, and it's not, and it's private. That, as I said, it's not used for AI training purposes. Are there any others, Sarah, before I go on?
Yeah, there was two more in the chat.
Yeah.
How do I generate the confidential link for the multiple choice quiz generated by AI Teacher Pro, Assistant Pro?
The link for multiple choice questions?
Yes.
Was that?
Yeah. How do I generate the confidential link for the multiple choice quiz?
We don't have that. We're getting off topic here, but multiple choice, yeah, it's a feature of AI Tutor Pro. And you can generate multiple choice questions, but no, we don't actually have a link for that. They're really available for download. The questions are available for download. And if you're happen to be using Canvas, you can download that file in this so-called QTI format, which imports directly into Canvas. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be working reliably with other learning management systems. So I won't go into that further because it's slightly off topic. We're having a webinar in early December. Sarah can post the date, and I'm going to be delving into AI Teaching Assistant Pro. Okay, how are we there? Any other questions?
Time for one more?
Yeah, sure. I think we
Okay.
fit that in. Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
David asked, when I upload my own content, can I also select other content that my students can be directed to?
Okay. No, you're not able to do that. It's really your own content, because we've set it up so Human Brain. This is, as I said, on this open source but anatomy textbook. Let me see. Monkey. I'll put rats. No, I'll put rats. Let's see. I'm not sure what's going to happen. It should be telling me it's off topic. So, but maybe there is something. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So I did answer that, but I can ask a question about planet Mars. It should be telling me it's off topic. So no, the idea is to keep it. Okay, yeah, it's off topic, so it tells you simply I can't help with that. So no, we don't have any link of sort of combining the best of both worlds, the custom content and going to the other content. But really, it's a very easy step for students. Okay, so they don't get the answer there that they want, so they go to the check tool right here and put planet Mars. Or they go to OpenStax, astronomy and take. Okay. So no, we don't have that capability, but I think we can. There's a good workaround for it. So okay, what we'll do is just go to. We've got time for some more questions at the end, but I just want to show you a couple of features. Many of our users have mobile devices, of course, tablets and smartphones, and you can install AI Tutor Pro like as an app, so it just appears as an app just like any other on your phone or tablet. So all you need to do is in Chrome, for instance, other browsers it's a little different, but you go up. In this case, in Chrome, you go to Cast, Save, and Share, and you click here, Install Page as App. And what this is going to do is then install it so you've got what looks like appears to be like an app on your phone. Very simple process. You don't have to go through the App Store or anything. Really, it's a shortcut, but it has all the appearances of an app. So very handy tool to use. So that's one very nice feature, of attractive feature. Oops, we won't go back to the end yet. We're not at the end, so we'll just so we go back here. What I want to also show is another feature. Any web content that you find, I'm going to just happen to go to, say, the Toronto Globe and Mail, national newspaper in Canada, and you find content there anywhere. It can be in your course, your course webpage, your learning management system. Let's say I see Alzheimer's and I want to find out a bit more about that. So what I can do here right away is I can launch AI Tutor Pro to check my knowledge about Alzheimer's, and I can start the session. So many have asked, well, can I install AI Tutor Pro in my learning management system in Moodle or Canvas? No, you can't, but in a way, there's no need to, because you have the capability. Anything in your learning management system, any text, since it's all web-based, the user can just highlight the text and launch AI Tutor Pro. So it's actually a very straightforward and simple way of doing it. So I think it handles that question, I think, quite efficiently. Okay, next I just want to go back here, and I promised to here talk about some upcoming features. Let's go to present again. Here, upcoming features. Oops, no, here we want what's ahead. Okay, there's an exciting feature that we're going to launch very soon called Learning Shorts. And I think that this is very impressive, and it's using AI, I think, in a very innovative way. Right now, we're setting up Learning Shorts in AI Teaching Assistant, but it will be available in the near future in the AI Tutor Pro as well. But right now it's in here, and I'll just have to find the link here. I don't have it here. I'll just have to bring it up. Sorry, I've lost it in my navigation along the way here, and I'll just have to bring it up. Okay. Sorry, get the, okay, get this page here. It's going to be in Teaching Assistant Pro, and what you're going to be able to do is to put in your email address and have a learning short, roughly 2 to 3 minute video on any topic that you choose. And we'll stay with our global climate change topic. And we're going to click Generate. It's going to generate text for us. And we'll see what text is going to be used in the video. And once that's generated, if we're happy with it, we can click Generate and email a video. And this is going to be like a 2 to 3 minute video on climate change. We're going to be having a choice of different templates, customized in terms of the avatar being used and so on. But you'll be able to test it with a watermarked version to get some idea of what things are going to look like. You'll be able to look at the different avatars and how they work. And then, unfortunately, we will have to charge for this service because it's quite an expensive service to use. But I'll give you an idea of what you can expect. Mind you, the cost is going to be very minimal. But the cost, why we're charging is really to prevent abuse, unfortunately.
Welcome to our exploration of
I'm going to
global
just
climate
bring
change,
this up in a moment.
critical
Here.
issue of...
Get this on the screen, full screen here. So now, okay, go back to the beginning. And here's and this was emailed to me before because it takes about 10 minutes for the link to be emailed to you.
Welcome to our exploration of global climate change, a critical issue affecting our planet. Today, we will delve into its causes, impacts, and necessary solutions. Let's analyze the primary factors that contribute to climate change. The burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas leads to high greenhouse gas emissions. This process is the largest contributor to climate change as these gases accumulate in the atmosphere. Deforestation exacerbates climate change.
I won't continue, but I see a 2-minute, 44-second video on climate change. And so the idea here is to give you the capability of producing short videos with animated videos on key topics, say the students are struggling with. And these will be available for download. You can then upload them to your learning management system, or they can be used just outright on their own just to learn more about a particular topic. So we're very, very excited about this. And we will be making this available eventually through AI Tutor Pro directly, but right now we're going to make it available first in AI Teaching Assistant Pro, as that's where faculty are likely to use it. We're a little concerned it could be abused a bit more if it was an AI Tutor Pro. However, there are guardrails around what can be generated to make sure the content generated is appropriate. So we'll have a range of different avatars, and I didn't mention, but all of our tools are available in English and French, by the way. And you'll see that link at the bottom of the page of AI Tutor Pro and Teaching Assistant Pro. You can link to the French version. So any feedback that you have, please click on this link here, comments and feedback, and that will come directly to me and to Michael as well. So we'll be able to answer any questions that you have. So what I'd like to do now is just devote any more time that we have left here to any comments, questions, and we have newsletters that come out every so often, not too frequently. We haven't gotten around to producing very many, but newsletters to keep up to date on new developments. Here's our link again to AI Tutor Pro, AI Teaching Assistant Pro, and my links as well. But as I said, you can just click on the home page there, AI Tutor Pro. So Sarah, how are our questions? Any, we covered?
Yeah, some additional ones.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So the first one is from John. He would like to know if you are using Synthesia.
Yeah, John, absolutely. That's what we're using. And you'll notice that Synthesia is not an inexpensive tool to use, but we've looked at other tools on the market. By far, it's the best tool. And so what we're doing is getting ChatGPT to generate the script, and then we're feeding that script into Synthesia. And we've got several templates chosen, and we're working on developing more that will allow that, and actually ultimately allow it in pretty well any language as well, if you wanted the video to be in other languages. And of course, you notice there that we had subtitles as well to make it more accessible. So yeah, Synthesia is the tool. Sarah?
Great. Julie would like to know if you can edit the script.
I assume that's of the video.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we are debating about whether we should even show the script because it gives the impression that you can edit it. So your only option is to really to regenerate that script. I've lost my, no, here's my link. Yeah, it'd be nice to say, well, I don't want to say welcome, I can say ciao or something. But no, you can't do that, unfortunately. So that is a limitation. We may be able to get to that, but that's further down the road. So, okay, great. But it's a very powerful tool. We're calling this Learning Shorts, Contact North Learning Shorts. Other questions?
Yeah, there's one from Nancy. Is there a pedagogical reasoning to why you made the AI create a real life person instead of an animated person?
Yeah, well, the logic is it's more captivating, more engaging if it's a real person, rather than yeah, like a stick figure or an animation. Yeah, and as I said, we'll have templates with a lot of different varieties of individuals and so on who would be the avatars, and ultimately we might give a choice of different avatars. We'll be able to choose between male, female, and different images, different backgrounds and so on of the avatars. There's quite a vast selection actually now at Synthesia to allow that to happen. Yeah, question?
Yep. Let's see here. Long would like to know whose voice is being used in the short video.
Okay, well, it's a stock voice from AI Tutor Pro, and sorry, from Synthesia, and you can change a lot of different voices. You notice that that individual had a British accent. Well, you could change it to an American accent, let's say, if you wanted to, and you've got a lot of choice over the voices. That just happens to be the one that say came up as default, but lots of choice in terms of accents. Actually, from most countries, you could have an Australian accent if you wanted as well. So most countries, regions of the world, let's say, you can have accents from those in English or in another language as well. Question?
Yes. Ned had asked if they will have access to Synthesia's account.
No, we won't be able to give you access to that. No, that's you'll get it only through this this tool here. No, it's as I've mentioned, Synthesia is a fairly expensive tool to use, and so we wouldn't be giving you access to that. Unfortunately, we like to, but no, we won't be able to. As I said, we'll have to charge. We're looking at roughly $1.99 for generating a video. So, and maybe a package of several, maybe five or six, whatever, for say $10, something like that. We haven't set a price on them, but we're basically trying to cover our costs. Any other questions there?
Yeah, I have one from Long. Whose face can show in the video? Is it the tutor's or an AI one?
It's only going to be an AI one. Oh boy, it'd be nice if we, right now, Synthesia allows you to have your own face used in a video, but that requires a Synthesia account. But I don't know if we'll be able to bring that capability in or not, but that would be nice if the instructor could have their own trained own video narrating. And what you basically do is you just train through reading text and taking your picture yourself, and then that from there on in, it can handle any text that is thrown at it, and you would be speaking it. So quite amazing. But no, we don't have that feature. Maybe we'll be able to get something like that down the road, but nothing in the near future, though. So the best choice would be to try to pick an avatar that most closely represents you. Sarah, anything else?
Yeah, I'm just looking in the chat here.
Yeah.
One from Alex. It may be premature to ask, but would this feature be available as an enterprise license for institutions or organizations?
Okay, yeah, that's something we've thought of. Yes, so, AI Tutor Pro itself is absolutely free. That feature of creating videos could be, we could make that available on an institutional basis. Say, we'd have to work out pricing. We've got no idea of the scope, but it would be a very powerful tool. And I don't think we would want to make it available yet, since we don't have enough choice of avatars. We want it to represent a diverse range of avatars, and we're not quite there yet. But certainly this is something we could consider, and by all means contact us if you think that's something that you may want to do, and that would motivate us perhaps to work on a licensing arrangement. Anything else there, Sarah?
Ron, I think that's it. Between you and
Oh.
Michael in the background answering away
Okay.
feverishly, I think we've covered it all.
Okay. By the way, did the person from Antarctica appear in the chat?
No, nobody.
No. Okay. Well, we'll see if that was true or not. But anyway, it was fun to see that, and perhaps it is true. Maybe there is a person there, and maybe they missed my announcement. If you're there, to please identify yourself. But anyway, it's been great. I'll put up our page again, AI Tutor Pro, our contact information. Sign up for our newsletter, and keep watching for the latest updates. And enjoy using your tool. I hope you'll find it a very engaging tool for your students. The feedback we've had has been very positive. We've had students take studying for significant licensing exams and so on, and it's been very, very, very positive feedback. So we look forward to your feedback and any comments or questions to help us improve the tool. And right now, we think it's the best tool on the market. So we want to keep it that way and keep moving ahead. So thanks, everyone. And please sign up for our webinar in December. I think Sarah's posted the link, and sign up for that, and we'll see you back then. All the best, and take care, and please give us feedback. Bye now.